Cause it's the West Side Stories with the Guest Sam. Wait, I fuck it every time I fuck it up, so that's usually. Cause it's the West Side Stories with your Guest Sam Leaman. They're shining like diamonds, man. They're fucking gleaming. Wait, hold that one like there. And this one's okay. There we go. Cause it's the West Side Stories with your guest Sam Leaman. They're shining like diamonds, man, they're fucking gleaming. It's the West Side Stories with your host Wes Brenner. Hey man, Sam Leaman, how could it get much better? West Side Stories. Alright, welcome to another episode of West Side Stories Podcast. We are here with my brother Sam Leaman. Hell yeah. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on? Good to see you.
I just hit myself in the tooth. I just like
we're off to a swell start.
Yeah. It'd be hilarious if I just like
I'm already beating on you.
Just chipped my tooth. I'm like, well, now I have a fucking chipped tooth. I'm even more of a monster. But
well, we just make this audio so you don't have to see it.
Yeah, it's all audio. It's another deleted episode of just Spotify episode. No, yeah, thank you for gracing the podcast with your presence, man. One of my first actual friends in comedy that I met ever when I first started coming to Madhouse like 2 years ago now. And this was when I first lived in my car in San Diego, and then I moved back to Washington, and I moved back here. You know, now I've been here for about a year. But when I first was out here living in my car in Ocean Beach, and I first started coming to the Madhouse and doing the open mic there, and that was my first mic that I started getting up at. You were there. You were one of the first people that were very nice to me, very fucking warm spirit, very funny, very good jokes that I still remember to this day from those jokes you were doing there. So, yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's funny you say that. I was like definitely going back. I was like, when's the first time? And then I was like, oh, my God, that's when it was the two space cadets. I was at the door. And you just came in. We were both just like glossy-eyed.
I don't remember the night. Like, I don't remember the exact, but I just remember because like all of that time's like a blur. But I remember you being one of the people during that time that I like connected with, was stoked on, and was like, this dude's funny. This dude's fucking cool. And like, cause like I remember it was a cool, like it was a good way of like separating it when I went to Seattle, and then I like there was people who stood out in the comedy scene from here, where because then I went to Seattle and then I joined the scene there and started figuring like becoming a part of the scene there. But there were people who I remembered from the San Diego scene that stood out to me. Okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. That were like, oh, these characters that were like, oh, that guy was really funny. This guy was really funny. And you were one of those dudes where I was like, oh, I remembered fucking Sam. He's very funny. And when I came back, I remember I was like, where's Sam been? And I finally fucking saw you, and I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I was doing the door at Madhouse like Monday, Tuesdays, and again, like you would just come up and I don't know, you were just super like. I mean, I'd only been doing it for like I think maybe fucking a year and a half at that point. So I was green and still am green, and like you would just like you had that like just looking to learn, looking to just like have fun, like myself, and I don't know. I think I just like took that and I was like, yeah, he's just like is looking to have a good time and looking to get into this weird world. So. Yeah, no, man, I appreciated that because I feel like the thing is like. Comedy, I mean, we're all a bunch of fucking weirdos, you know, so everybody's going to these open mics and we're all fucking bunch of weirdos who are, you know, insecure fucking, you know, losers, dude, like, or at least that's what we think of ourselves as. Like
we might not
types,
be,
right?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you walk around and it's like everyone on the service, like we're all such a diverse cast of characters, but it takes a weird, like we talk about, it takes a weird specific type of person, but there's different types. It's almost like you go in and everyone's like, okay, what kind of weirdo are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly, but especially from the beginning, because all you can do is judge a book by its cover at the beginning. So that's what happens. So at the beginning, like people are like, oh, and it's just people are standoffish. You know what I mean? Yeah. At first, not everybody, and that's what I'm saying. There's the people who aren't really definitely like. I think you remember that. I remember that a lot.
Absolutely. Like we're like the first kids. Like it feels like everyone says like high school, right?
It's so very cliquish.
So the first person to go outside the norm. Give you a little crumb of like advice or just even
just be
like,
fucking
not
just
being like
nice. Just be just a smile. Just a smile or acknowledgement. An acknowledgement of your presence as a human being there is huge. Because like everybody and I don't. blame anybody else for, you know what I mean? I've done the same thing, and I probably still do it, where it's like we're just in our, as a fucking, as a comic, once you're in a year or two or whatever, you're thinking about your set, you're thinking about the night, you're doing shit. You're not like, oh, here's this new person and I'm going to also be nice to them. No, you've never seen that person, so you're going to like look at the people that you know. I mean, it's just...
It makes sense the more you get into it.
Exactly.
When you're, new, you're like highly sensitive.
And I'm such a sensitive little bitch that it hurt my feelings so much every time people would, like, I would be, like, first, dude, I've had people that, like actually, Seabass is a great example, because I actually love Seabass now, but like when I first came into the scene, I don't think Seabass super loved me. I don't know what his vibes on me, and maybe Seabass will see this at some point and we'll talk about it. But
let us know in the comments.
No, but I love Seabass. Seabass is my boy now, but like Dayton has because Dayton, him and Dayton are really good friends. Yeah. And so through that, like, I've fucking gotten to know Seabass, and I really fucking fuck with him now. I love Seabass. But when I first came into the scene, like, I felt like I would try to be like, yo, what up? And he would be like, kind of give me the cold shoulder, you know? And like, I was like, and I was just like, it hurt my feelings, because I was like, I want to, like, and I think he would do it because I was like also kind of a weird, eccentric kind of dresser. And he's like, who the fuck is this other, who the fuck is this other fucking weird hippie dude dressing? Like, he's like, this is my lane. Yeah. He's like, you're fucking cutting into my lane, right. Which I get, but I was like, I have no idea who anybody is, blah, blah, blah. Right. So like, it was just a weird thing where like he was cold at first, and then for hella long, I just would like, for like when I came back, I didn't acknowledge him at all. I was like, go cold. I don't know you. Yeah, I fucking hate you. But then I was like, actually, once like we got to know each other through mutual friends, through Dayton, then I'm like, oh, I fucking love Seabass. Like, he's a good dude. He's a fucking killer drummer. Like, you know what I mean? But you make these snap judgments on people in comedy just based on like either the reaction, the interaction that you first have, or fucking what you see of them. Like, and then you know, as you get to know people, then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I was a little bit harsh or whatever. Like,
no, I think I agree, because I think it's tough. Because I mean, obviously, there's people who, even if you make comedy your life, you do it 7 nights a week, and there's people who they hang out outside of comedy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking a lot of that comes from the fact that we all see each other like in the dead of night, like animals waiting to go up on stage. You know what I mean? Like, I can think of myself personally. Like, I have a fucking day job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we're
tired.
Salivating.
Yeah, everyone has shit to do. So it's like, I feel like it can be hard to judge people based off of those, you know what I mean, those interactions. Because sometimes they're so small and fleeting. You know what I mean? Like, think about how many times we've seen each other, like, outside of, like, an open mic. Outside, you know what I mean? So it's like, those are small interactions.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, what's up, dude? Blah, 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 blah. And then peace, you know whatever.
Or like I'm working the Madhouse the door one night, and I'm just like, off of like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, this is all you see of me, so I'm just kind of like, fuck, whatever, man.
Exactly,
you know? So
exactly.
But then that's all you get for then the next week goes by.
Exactly. You don't see, exactly. You just see this person like in like maybe, like these moments that aren't like at their highest capacity of ability to be, you know, open to kindness, you know, like just being kind and being, you know, they're not. Mm-hmm. And so then you're like, oh, like fucking, you're then creating a judgment based upon them at this one window of their fucking being, but it's like the rest of their day, they're actually probably this way or that way. So yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about, you know, you just can't make these snap judgments, you know. I mean, we do, like, I think instinctually, like, just our bodies are like,
it's a defense mechanism. It's a survival technique, especially
100%.
When people are fighting for something at the top. Like, we already are kind of like programmed to have that sort of fight or flight response.
Yeah.
So then when we like choose fight, as in to go up on stage, right?
Hold it more.
Like, you know, we're kind of like, to going on stage, right? We've chosen fight. There's no flight. So then now we're all climbing for the same spots, the same sets, and unfortunately, it does kind of turn a little, right? We all try not to make it negative, but sometimes it can turn a little,
there can be, for sure, dude. No, I mean, there's days that, you know, you can like get on your phone and just start like social mediaing and just like, it just negatively, just being like, why are they on that show? Like, why are they getting booked so much?
You always say it's never going to happen. I always promise myself I would see people do that, and I'm like, when I just didn't have anything, right?
Oh,
You're just like, never, even if like, I don't give a shit how like deserved I am of it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you're on social media one afternoon on the shitter.
Oh, dude.
And it comes in your head. And I hate that. I hate when that 100%. Happens. I try and like
for sure.
Smash that down.
For sure.
It's so unhealthy.
No, 100%. Because it's like jealousy is ugly.
Comparison's the thief of joy. All that crap.
100%,
you know? Like,
dude. It's and also it's such a beautiful thing to be able to see like how fucking awesome all these like creative fucking creatives that are around us are, like how awesome these people are, and to be able, like, instead of being like feeling like you know, like you're like there's some kind of like it's a challenge. It's a competition.
There's only so many spots.
Exactly, it's the scarcity or whatever that you know we've heard like Rogan and people talk about. But yeah, it's like this scarcity mentality of like and it's like when you can like break from that and just or be able to just like be like, hey, like be appreciative of, you know, like other people's shit and just be fucking stoked, like genuinely, you know, and just be like, yo, I'm working on this, I'm gonna do it, and like I'm fucking stoked that other people are crushing it and doing it too, and that I know them, and that like it's a cool thing. But
it's funny you bring that up because I've been talking to like other people recently how like I went to Spain like about like last spring.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was at
bars about that.
Yeah, and I was like at bars and I like literally met like people who did comedy like in Spain.
That's cool.
Or they're like European comics where they're based in like, you know, Dublin, and then they move around. They go to Italy and they go to the English shows.
Okay, yeah.
I was talking to them about that, and same thing with all the artists and like the musicians there too. It's like this, like you talk about community, right? Or like this, we all get all sidetracked from like, I think because we're so close to LA, we're so close to the hub, that potential.
Yeah,
they're not. Whether they have their money, their life already set out, they're just doing it because they like to do it. So the community over there, it's small, but it's mighty. They're friends. There's not
like a place that they can just go get up with like a bunch of clubs and like not as is at the, you know, same level as like LA or Austin or New York or whatever.
And maybe that makes it more of a hobby, so that's why they're kind of a little more lax about it.
Yeah.
But it seems like all the artists that like you meet that are like our age in like Europe or anywhere else where maybe their life is a little more like stable for them, whether it's financially, economically, socially.
Yeah.
They all are just like, I just like work some government job. I just have healthcare. I have my checks. I have this, and I play drums at bars on the weekend. But there's not this like, and then I'm gonna like sell an album and make millions and go on tour. Like,
it's not as much of pressure of like you have to like make it and you have to like
do something with it, monetize it.
Yeah. It's just like it's your thing. Like you do, that's what you do. But it's like more blue collar almost.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, it's like more like working class kind of just like this is what we do. We fucking like it's not. Like there's I feel you there. Like the separation there. There's just kind of a difference in the push or something, you know.
And I like no like shame to anyone else who's like, if you want to grind and like really try and make your billions off Netflix and stuff, like, and that's your goal. Like, I have nothing but respect for that, you know. But I'm just more talking about when you're saying like all these kind of different perspectives clashing together for one like open mic or like certain spots. Like you have to account all the perspectives too, you know. So that's kind of why I think is certain people have different reasons for doing it. Most of us have that pure straight line reasons, but then, you know, it wavers, I feel like.
So that's why their jokes suck over there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
You're gonna like second language mostly, but yeah. No, the jokes are interesting because you go out there and
across the pond,
across over there. But yeah, it's kind of weird because like I was just in Spain, and so you're talking about the English speaking mics, and for them, it's kind of this weird like it's almost like going to like Benihana for them. They get this weird like it's like an American experience. To go,
are they doing
comedy.
What language are they doing?
English. Most of
they're
them
doing it.
A lot of them are English. Like, because I was asking, like, oh, like, he's like, no, it's mostly English. Don't worry about it. It's most of them because it's mostly them. They can speak English, like in Madrid and shit.
Yeah,
like
that's such a it's the most spoke language. Yeah. Like, I mean, probably not the most spoke language, but like. It's traveling language.
We're
like,
spoiled. We get to go anywhere, and like mostly people.
People
English,
are. It's because the dollar, the U.S. dollar. They want to. Yeah, they're conforming to the language of the
literally
of the dollar. That's crazy. But no, that is super cool. That's dope. Because I definitely want to like. I listened to Ari Shafir's podcast.
That's a new one. That's fresh.
And he talks
tripping,
about
right?
and he talks about traveling, you know, different places, and he brings on kind of comics either who have traveled to different spots. And I definitely, you know, that's like one thing that I would love to, you know, in the future be able to create an opportunity through comedy and stuff is traveling and being able to see different scenes.
No, definitely. And I feel like there's like a lot of. It's easy to like network in the way that you just find someone on Instagram, just message them. It's only just be like a bar show. I feel like comedy is most similar in a lot of places, at least open mic comedy.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2 open mic bars in some random ass town that do it, or like 25 in San Diego, it's like I feel like it's really similar experiences where you find someone on Instagram who produces a mic at a bar, you just message them, and you just pop on a little show, but you're abroad, so that's all you can do.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. No, that's so. What was Spain like?
It was fun. It was a whirlwind. I only went for like maybe like 13, 12 days.
12 days. Okay, that's a good.
I did Madrid and Barcelona.
Okay, so. Nice, sweet. What were you doing out there?
Just visiting my sister. She was studying abroad.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
dude.
I just got some lodging. Just had to pay for airfare.
Man.
But no, it was super interesting to again just get out, see other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And honestly, just realize how much less of fucks people give over there. It seems like. It seems like everyone every time like we all get together, right? Everyone's like in their own heads and like, fuck, man, like,
yeah.
It just was so weird going to a place where like genuinely like, and it wasn't because I was on vacation like with other people on vacation. You go to like people who have work in the morning, and it's just like.
Just the culture.
They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the culture
really
is just
care.
Yeah, because that's what Jess said about like going to Italy too. Like she just came back from Italy, and she was like, just the way that people are, like they break in the middle of the day for lunch and chilling time, and then they do it's like all these. And I'm like, yes, like I'm like that is I already am doing that. So if that was culturally acceptable, I would feel so much less bad about myself.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy when you go over and you're like not even there for that long, and you're not even like a working person there. You're not even a citizen. You're like, wait, then you come back like, what? This is normal. You just everyone is so just fucking flat.
People are like giving you shit because you're like napping, and you're like, dude, the whole countries live like this, man.
It's like literally shit shuts down. It shuts down.
Yeah,
I'm like walking around. I'm like, shit. I'm trying to see everything, do everything, and it's like 3 PM.
Yeah,
and people are like
it's
closing
like, take
up
a
shop.
break,
They're
bro.
Closing up. Like it's fucking 2 AM. They're boarding up.
Yeah,
like they're gonna get robbed.
Yeah.
And people are sleeping. It's siesta. And you're like, what's going on? It's like, go home, take a rest.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back out and we'll stay up till 6 AM. I'm like, and that's just, and then a society runs that way, I guess.
So great, dude.
On napping and staying out till 6.
Staying out till 6 AM.
Yeah.
That is so great. That is so great. That is why people move to fucking Europe, because you're just like, all right, well, this is more fun. Like, I mean,
I know.
Fuck, that's how you live, dude.
And I'm not even talking about moving to Europe based on the fucking last presidential election. It doesn't matter who the fuck is the president, dude. Like,
no,
it's just
based on
it's
just based
different.
on lifestyle choices, dude.
And
Just
everyone smells so bad, Wes.
It's awesome. I thought you were gonna say smells good.
No, it's awesome. They can reek. It doesn't
I don't
matter.
want that. Now you're turning me back to America, bro. USA.
No, dude. They don't like care as much about like their like personal body.
I don't know if I love that. Does it? Would it?
It's not
smell?
that bad. Like it's one of those things where you're on the public.
Do you get
like,
used
transit,
to it?
Like you're on the public transit and you're sitting down, and it's almost like it's like if you were to go to New
it's
York
like
and
earthy.
garbage.
Like,
but it's more of an earthy. Instead
well,
of like
that's the
trash,
part of New York I'm like dreading the most. Is like the garbage. The smells. Yeah. People talk about like it just reeking of garbage, and then like there being like rats and cockroaches, and I'm like, okay, well, I've experienced rats and cockroaches. Luckily, I didn't live in Tacoma, which they would say the aroma of Tacoma. I lived in Seattle, so
right.
But apparently, there was a smelly part of Tacoma, so I dodged that. So I don't know. I'm not stoked on bad smells, but yeah, I guess you get used to it.
But there's just so much more. Like I'm gonna be me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Smell my smell. Breathe it in. I don't care. Which you think that would be something American, right? That sounds like an American, like.
Like the ladies too. Like the ladies be just like smelling like ripe. Ripe.
They smell natural. They all smell natural.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if the pheromones, if you're like into the pheromones,
it was April, it was spring,
good.
so it wasn't that bad yet. So if you had gone in the summer, maybe that's a whole different story. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know how I would feel like about. I guess, but then I feel like it's something that I'm also maybe just not as used to, or not used. Yes, I'm not used to, but I mean, I'm not like as aware of if in the moment, because I've been to Costa Rica a handful of times. I've been to, Vietnam. I've been to a good amount of places where like there's some smells,
right.
And
they're there.
And I'm like, I've never, it's not like ever been a bothersome, like where it's like so crazy that I'm like, this is impacting my trip, Sometimes you think about
you go home early, you just cancel I can't deal with the smells. You
guys. I walked out of the airport. It smelled like fucking I've never smelled that, so I'm turning right back around. A 14-hour flight back to
return flight. Just refunds. Nope. I couldn't handle it. My nostrils couldn't take it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's cool though. That's cool as fuck. So what was the the nightlife there? Did you like hang with meet some folks?
Yeah,
or,
it's kind of fun like when you're just kind of around, by yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're just a little like solo travel. Yeah, I'm so you know what it's like to kind of just sit there. You almost want to talk to people more.
Yeah, because you're not like in just fucking like Target. You're in a new place, so you're like, hey, and you're interesting because you're not from Spain.
Yeah.
So you have something to offer. Like in a conversation, fodder. You're like, hey, I'm not from here, and they're like, oh, cool.
I think it's because of like Europe is so much closer together.
Yeah.
So everyone's used to like running into someone.
From
somewhere else.
Because they're just train hopping.
They just pop all over.
Dude. The whole thing's train spotting.
Yeah. So it's the first like couple people that ask you like, oh, like where are you from? You're like, oh my gosh, like you're just like so okay with foreigners. Like, yeah, well, because this guy's from the Netherlands and this guy's from Germany. Like she's from, it's like
they're like it's a melting pot.
Yeah.
Like it's way more of a melting pot. Like whereas here it's like America, and then fucking there's a couple of people who
what state are you from, brother?
Yeah.
Show me ID.
You from the south or from the north?
Literally.
Or the middle of the country.
It's like our names for things are so gross, like the Rust Belt.
The Rust or the Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt. I'm from the Rust Belt.
Is that the same thing? What's the Bible? What's the Rust Belt?
Bible Belt is like the South.
Yeah. What's
and
the
Rust Belt? I want to say is like that middle-ish
Rust Belt.
Because I think it has to do with their.
I've never heard this. I've never heard this term. Is this in the middle Midwest?
I could be completely failing my high school history teacher right
now. Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good.
But I think the Rust Belt. Yeah, check it out.
Region of the United States. The Rust Belt.
Or is it like is that Pittsburgh? Is that like a Pittsburgh?
Formerly
thing?
the Steel Belt is an area of industrial decline in the United States that stretches from southeastern Wisconsin through northern and central Illinois, and through parts of Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Stop taking our steel overseas, man.
Okay, so the Rust Belt is just like it's over in like the
Ohio, Pennsylvania,
northern east.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
or northeast, like Midwest, northeast kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like
we're such coastal elites, dude. It's like northeast.
I mean, northeast isn't even a thing, is it? Never eat shredded. Yeah. I'm so retarded. Geography is literally my work. Like, I'm retarded on so many levels, but geography and math, those are probably the two things that you could like really like just embarrass me on. Like, if somebody was like, hey, like how do you get to this? Where's this place? I'd be like you could easily at a dinner party, if somebody wanted to like show everybody else that I was an uneducated fool, geography and math would be an easy one without like even like being like letting everybody know, like just Wes, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I know.
I feel like that's most of us now. That like think about no one really dares to ask themselves like the scary questions. Like if your phone was like dead or like thrown in a river and you were like how far from your house would you be to be completely fucked?
I can't.
Like for me, it would be like maybe it depends which direction. Like north, because I'm kind of from up there, so I drive up and down. But you throw me inland, you throw me in fucking like Julian. Or even a fucking Poway, El Cajon, blindfold me, throw my phone in a river, and just like give me my car keys.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't. It would probably.
I barely know that like San Diego yet.
That's fair too, though. Yeah.
Like I have had to test this because I've like had my phone die, when I'm like driving, so I know I can drive from downtown to my house here and then back from here to downtown. So I know like that like roadway, I know those highways, but that's about it. It's about from here to downtown. That's about as far as I could get. Like, and then I could get to Ocean Beach and then I could get like I could kind of like I could like fit, I could like fucking like blindly crawl my way like through fucking
like, oh
up
fuck,
and down
I was
the
blackout
5.
at that Mexican place. I remember. It's like a couple more rights, then I'm home.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I remember I was doing a show, like little mic up in LA a couple months ago, and my phone died.
Yeah.
And I remember like seeing that my phone was dying at like 3-4%. So I had the foresight, thank God.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling.
I just start writing down on like my notepad all the directions, like page after page, like MapQuest, all the way down from like way like
I've done this,
like West
dude.
Hollywood all the way through.
Oh, that's so
down to
brutal.
San
You had
Diego.
no charger?
No, I didn't have a charger. No, my phone, it doesn't fucking.
Oh,
it doesn't plug in anymore.
Oh,
so I
okay.
have a stupid fucking one of those plates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah.
So I didn't have my portable charger to get the plate set up.
It's because shit debris gets caught into your little fucking the thing where the port where you plug in your dongle
all the
or
dust and all the lube. From
yeah, that's true, dude.
Blowing loads of new
I'm
speakers.
sure. Yeah, dude, that'd be funny if you bring it into an Apple store. Like, can you get the port cleared, and then like take a little pin, and then just like just squeeze out, just like cum, just dried cum. They're like, so I don't know. You might have dropped it in like glue or.
It's like Apple's like warns like the fucking terms of service is so detailed. It's like, wait, look. No, that's not insured. Hey, look, it's like dried semen lodged in like charging port.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, they have fucking bylaws against fucking semen.
There's some like lawyer in Silicon Valley making like $20 million a year.
Yeah,
looking up semen law.
Yeah, every phone that gets clogged by being jerked off.
It's a global epidemic.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's shutting down fucking.
Why do you think the fucking power button's not on the top anymore?
Yeah, that's what happened to Radio Shack. Ended Radio Shack.
The semen of the radios.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Oh my God.
Semen killed the radio stars.
Oh,
Semen killed.
Do you know what I found out about that band recently?
What is that band again? You told me.
I love how I don't know the. I'm like, do you know I know about the band? Forgets the name.
Yeah. You know the fact about the band.
It'll make sense. Yeah. Specifically,
video.
Because you know Hans Zimmer, right? The fucking like composer.
Yeah, I know the name.
Because he played the keys. If you look in that video, in the actual music video, Hans Zimmer was the keyboardist for this band. He was the keyboardist for the Bugles.
Bugles. I said
the man who did the fucking.
I said the Buggles. They're like a fucking morphed Beatles. Yeah. We are the Buggles.
Yeah, you'll see him in there. He's on keys, looking like a young whippersnapper.
Oh yeah.
But the man who did the Pirates Caribbean, Interstellar. The Worm movie.
He did all those.
He did all those, and he did Video Kill the Radio Star.
Oh, cool. This guy?
The Range. Yeah, he was on the keys. But
well, that's what I mean. The key guy. I was trying to.
Pretty fun though.
That's cool, dude. Fucking this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full head of hair.
Nice. Dude. See, I'm all about these soundtrack dudes because Danny Elfman is another one. Danny Elfman. So Danny Elfman.
Oingo Boingo.
So Oingo Boingo does there's a shot because I just got a copy of Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield on VHS. I found this at the record store today, but fucking Danny Elfman's band Oingo Boingo plays in a party scene in
Get Out
in fucking Back to School. The party scene, Oingo Boingo is playing live in that scene. Yeah. I know. It's such a cool little piece of little pieces of fucking information. I love little factoids like that and shit.
That's why I jumped at it. You should see me. I was like, dude, do you know that fucking Stop the bit cold. No more semen in the radios. Did you know that Hans Zimmer?
Yeah. Hot off the semen press. For sure, dude. I love that kind of thing. The little just composers and all these, Hollywood fucking legends. Laurel Canyon had a lot of cool, weird shit going on in it.
And like the longer those, I feel like the longer those guys are in the industry, and also especially the ones who are obviously like visionary and super like all over the place.
Yeah,
they had their hands like in every. You know what I mean? Like they weren't just what like made them famous or made them money. They were like super good at this or that. Like Robin Williams like fucking loved video games.
Okay.
He named his kid after like I think it's Zelda. He named his kid Zelda.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
And think about Robin Williams games just slaying fucking
exactly
Minish Cap. Just mobbing Minish Cap. He's just like fucking.
Yeah, he's just fucking. Oh man, that is a great image, right? He's just fucking gaming his ass off just all day, just like crushing Red Bulls
in the Mrs. Doubtfire outfit. He is as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my god,
these are fun. Oh, hello.
Oh, I have the ocarina.
The Minish Cup.
I wish I knew more about Zelda to extenuate the bit, but
that's the thing. See, I'm a bad video game player. I love the aesthetics of video games. So like Zelda captured me by aesthetics. Like I love the aesthetics of Zelda. It's so fucking cool, so beautiful. Like the world of Zelda, like it's so tight. But like I just don't fucking. I get like bored.
I would say it's an attention thing for me. Like if once I get to something that's like too hard. Or like whatever, I'm like, this is just not what I thought it was anymore. And I just kind of like I just throw it aside.
Yeah, no, it's like for real, dude. It's like I can't play something for that long, and it's like especially Zelda and stuff like that. Those games are challenging as fuck. They're fucking hard. They make them challenging so that they
want it to be.
So that because the people who like that, they're like, fuck yeah, let me.
You don't want to end,
and they want a challenge. They want a fucking hard challenge. But me, dude, I know I want to be spoon fed, bro. I like the second it gets a little hard, I'm like, I'm done. Okay, like I've failed 5 times. Like I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm depressed. I hate myself. Like
I know there's an 8-year-old in Shanghai somewhere who did this in like 2 hours in the whole game. It took me one
Yeah, it's like I can't even do this. It just makes me. It's just a glaring like sign of how retarded I am. It's just like you are and even with like fucking walkthroughs and cheats and like looking up the whole thing, like I still am like, this is still hard.
That's how I judge a game. What I do is like, so let's like Assassin's Creed, like any game that has like like a good like walkthrough, like you want to know the story mode or whatever. I would play it on the easiest setting, almost just to go through like the story and like play the game.
Oh, I mean, I can't like, play anything on not the. What do you mean?
No, like I'm talking like it's almost like
it's like watch the gameplay on the easiest.
Almost no, it's like I play the gameplay almost at like developer settings, where it's like literally like one hit gone down, and you can just kind of walk through the town. But then that's how I judge a game. If it's still too hard, like Dark Souls, that famous game where it's like impossible to fucking beat the intro. It's like it's a nightmare. Easiest mode, couldn't do it. Bad game.
Yeah.
Bad game. It's too hard. It's a bad game.
Dude, I'm so bad at video games. It's so like embarrassing. I like playing them with friends and stuff, but just once it's like me in a video game, I cannot commit. I'm just like I'm done.
I'm a Wii Sports whore. That's
Wii Sports is fun. See that's the fun stuff. Like I'll do like that with friends.
Yeah.
Like I like doing that stuff with friends, and like that's cool. But then like I burn out quickly. Like on the interest. Like,
that's why we like comedy. Because I used to try and write like fucking screenplays or like TV pilots and shit. Yeah. And I couldn't even commit to like my passion project, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for long enough to like I'll be writing it for like a month, 2, 3, 4. And I'd look at it and be like, I don't care about any of this anymore. I literally like, even if it's good or bad, it's not even like a good or bad thing. I'm just like, this, I have no emotional connection.
Yeah, the interest, just the momentum of interest has like ceased.
So like jokes, just keep in, but also in that like couple lines, you could do it so many different ways and so many different times, you know?
No, I feel you. And that's why like you got to keep doing new shit, because the second that something gets stale to you, the audience can tell way before you can tell. Yeah. And so you're like, oh, I'm not even having fun with this. I've already like when you let a joke sit for too long and you don't hit the stage for long enough, and then you have to come back to your notebook and you're like fuck, like I haven't been back. I haven't written for a fucking 2 weeks or a week. I haven't fucking been up on a stage for a week or 2 weeks. You're like, now you're looking at the set that you did 2 weeks ago and that was it, and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I kind of remember where I was at, but like, fuck, like, this isn't funny to me anymore. Yeah, I've gone to a different place. Like,
you're preaching the choir, because like that's my biggest thing. Where it's like, everyone has different ways, whether you read on stage or whatever the fuck. Like you're doing new bits every time. I like to like have like, okay, here's my 5 minutes that I could like take to places, right? Yeah. So I will tend to like just keep doing the 5, right? Yeah. So my problem is like that balance, right, of doing that 5 minutes to get it good, to get it perfect, to whatever I want it to be, whether I'm like doing it more or I'm like tweaking things or trying new things with it. But then there's also, right, getting bored with it and then not wanting to go out because you're just like, fuck, well, I'm just going to go out and do this one again.
Yeah.
And then there's the new shit where then you're like, fuck, like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Or then there's that rare excitement for a bit. Like, how often do you get, like, excited? Like, most of the times, like, what's your ratio of, like when you were just like, I can't wait to try that on stage, how they're going to react?
It's not... I don't think it's usually... Like, are you talking about, like, first time before you ever do a bit?
Yeah, like, when you think of it, like, from, like, your mind
Okay, well,
to the page,
I think that, like, every time I think of something, like, I'm, like... I get, like...
okay.
Super excited because I'm an idiot, so, like, I, like, everything to me, like, I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to remember, like, oh yeah, a lot of things that like I find funny,
right.
most people don't find funny.
That's where I find myself because I'm like, I hate myself. So, it's like, so the second I think something's good, I'm like, I'm like, you're probably the only person in the world.
Yeah, you're the only one who's gonna laugh at that. Like exactly. So, like, I'll think it's super funny and I'm super excited, but then the second I tell somebody about it or whatever, the second I'm like, hey, like, this is fucking how the fucking joke's gonna go or whatever, like this, sorry, that threw me off. But wait, what?
We had like parlor. No,
it's all good.
I'm like,
it's all good. No, it's my roommates. But fucking wait. So we're talking about say it again. I fully lost that, bro.
Oh my god, you got so scared from the haunting spirit of the honky tonk.
I did. I got the honky tonky spirit.
If you couldn't hear it, there was like a weird, like it sounded like
there was a piano.
Like the Queen Mary at like 1 a.m. and all of a sudden the player goes off in the basement.
It freaks me out. No, but you had a good point though. But yeah, yes, like when you do a thing and you first time you do it, like on stage. Like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm mildly excited, but I'm also, because of like a lot of times of like doing something and it not working, I'm more ready when I first do something first time. I'm kind of like probably not gonna work. Like, I'm like, it might work, but I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just like I really don't know. And then so I think my most excited is if I do something for the first time and I'm like kind of skeptical that it's gonna pop, and then it does pop, and I'm like, oh shit, that popped. Then that's when I'm the most excited about it, because I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here now. Maybe like then I'm like, let me work this.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think that's like my most excited place, where you like do an idea and then it kind of it hits and you're like, oh, okay, fucking that's funny. Yeah. Other people are finding that funny. Now let me dig in and see where I can. And so I think that's like the most excited point. And like I do love when like it is, that's almost probably equal to like when lightning strikes and when you think of a joke and you're just like, fuck, I love that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe also I'd say another of the best exciting points is like when you really unlock a joke, like where you're like, you already have been working because a premise is come and go, man. They're just like fucking, they're like water. You know what I mean? There's so many.
There's very few ones that you can really like do something with.
Yeah, like actually creating a punchline. Actually, when fucking something like clicks and it's like a punchline and it's like, bink, like that's, oh man, that's fun, dude. That's fun, where you're just like, dude, like you were almost like, that's meant to, it has to be there.
It feels like, I mean, it like literally feels like a recipe, like you're cooking something and you're like, if I just throw a little bit more there or that, you're like, your muffins just keep fucking coming out like running every time. And you're like,
shout out Bill Burr muffins. No, just kidding.
And maybe like you just throw like a little more salt.
Yeah.
Or a little less. And then all of a sudden they just come out and you're like, whatever that, it's like that tinkering. It's like balancing an equation.
Exactly.
It's like, there's different ways to come at it, but there's kind of like a couple of stellar ways to
come
and
that's
at
the cool thing about it being comedy, and the challenging thing about it being comedy is that like when you're cooking or anything like that, it is physical though. So you physically, I mean, even though it's like taste, so I guess cooking's a good example because it's like, though you can measure and stuff, it's still down to like taste and palate and like, you know what I mean? To like, if there's a pinch of this or a pinch of that to garnish this or whatever. So it's like, but yeah, like when you're thinking of stuff and like, I mean, yeah, you're cooking it down, you know.
Or the way I like to think about it, it's like sometimes like, not like we never want to blame the crowd, right?
Yeah.
But then there's like sometimes just like a certain joke.
I mean, sometimes you blame the crowd.
I
like
hate blaming the crowd,
I'm not
like,
saying blame. No, I'm not saying mostly it's not. But there are occasional times where you're like, it's not like it's the crowd's fault, but you're just like they definitely hated. Like they're
if you're at like a bar mic and they're of course it's.
That's what I'm basing most of my experience. All of these conversations are based off of
we're so
through bar mics.
And I think that's why starting an open mic like comedy is why everyone knows it's so hard, is because you have to start in such crappy rooms and just keep doing, and then you'll get like kind of a good room. You'll get like thrown up at like, you know, here every once in a while, or you'll get thrown up at here every once in a while.
Yeah, like we'll go to places and like Dave like won't even want to go up at like a room when there's like a suicide room when there's just like 3 or 4 people at the bar and stuff. He's like, nah, I'm not going up. Like I'll just.
I'm like, if I don't go up, but I won't have gone up this week. Like,
but exactly, I don't like to get myself into that. I like to make myself like, no, go up, make 3 people laugh, or make 300 people laugh.
A survey. If one of them laughs of the 3,
exactly.
That's
I'm still trying. Like it's stage time and it's fun. It's fun to make it honestly, and it's way less stakes. So it's like, dude.
Sometimes that's when you find something.
Exactly, like, and you have way less stakes. You're not like as nervous. You're like, man, you can fucking riff. You can pop. You got 6 people here. If you can make these people pop, like, and that used to make me scared because Fedwan once said, he was like, yo, like, he's like, the big rooms like ACC, blah, 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 if you can make them pop, that's not as impressive as if you can make like a tinier room, you know, with just 5 people pop. Like
and I'm sure you've seen it too. Where like a comedy store, like La Jolla Comedy Store guy, like, is that like a bar
totally
mic or whatever, and all of a sudden they just start like, you're like, I didn't even know the crowd knew how to laugh.
Yeah,
and they just, because whether they're pulling it out of them or they're just actually saying
for sure
shit, like,
well, it's just because you can't go up and just do like written, just jokey, like just
sometimes in that room,
just
in that
jokes.
Scenario,
I mean, like you can do written jokes, but it's like you gotta first ingratiate yourself. First, make them have fun, talk, make them know that you are a person.
We're experiencing. That's why I always try and like start with something where it's like at least something to acknowledge that we're all experiencing this together. Yes, there are different roles, but like you want this to go well to have a good night and to have a fun time, and I want this to go well for my own reasons, and also I want you to, you know, have a fun time and get something out of this and feel like it's a good show.
For sure. You know? No.
And we don't think, a lot of times audiences or, you know, comedians, I feel like sometimes forget that, myself included, that it's like we're a team in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's fucked up, but it's like
they
totally need you need them, all that bullshit.
No, totally. And that's why like it's not good when you like get angry and then you turn on an audience, because it's not a good look, because it's like, well, you're here to like,
I never understood that.
I mean, but I've done it, bro. I did it.
Like, I mean, I guess
let me explain, brother.
I guess
Sit on there.
Conceptually understand like how you get there, but it just
no, it's not a good idea. But it's just like sometimes it just happens. Like the other day, dude, I had the other day. Were you at Quantum the other day? No. Oh my god!
But I think I did see some clips from other people's stories where people did not seem like they were enjoying that there was an open mic pop up on their Friday night bar spot or brewery, huh?
Wait, what?
Like it seems like I saw in someone else's story. It seemed like there were some unhappy patrons at that fucking.
No. I know. I don't know if it was that same
different
thing.
Night. Okay.
Yeah, it was I think the same thing. But this was like the craziest shit. But like I was just, I mean, you just learn lessons. But like so I have like a new joke that's like pretty racist. You know, I'm like doing this racist joke. Because it's like the joke is basically saying like, you know, I'm, you know, quarter black, so I was raised by the jungle, but you know, but I don't resemble the monkeys that raised me. That's the joke. I just did the joke for you. Goddamn, I did the joke on the fucking pod. That's
bits
dumb.
on pod.
Bits on pods. That's
bits
the worst fucking. Literally, put a nail through my fucking face.
I love it.
No, but I mean, it's not even, like I'm not even doing the joke that much because it's like it is an offensive joke. So it's like, so I did that joke, and then fucking, and there's this table of like black ladies, like and one of them is a comic, but I didn't know she was a comic, like, right? And then, and they're all like, they're kind of like talking, and like, there's like a little bit of like, people are like kind of saying some shit, and there's definitely some reactions to like my jokes, you know what I mean, a little bit, and I'm kind of like I'm, you know, trying to poke the bear a little bit or whatever, but then fucking, somebody's talking, they're talking a little bit, and I go on that was where my mistake was, where I fucking pounced on the talking, and I like tripped on that, and I was like, good, I have the microphone, like blah, 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 some just dumb fucking bullshit, like, you know what I mean, dumb, and like, and so and I'm bombing, like then I'm like bombing, and the whole audience hates me. This group of black ladies does not like me, and they're talking. Oh yeah, and then that's what I do. And like, they're talking. And I'm like, I have the microphone. I'm like, blah, blah, and I'm like, or I can go back to the monkey bits if you want. I can go back to the monkey. Like we can go back to the monkey bits. And then they're all like, fucking. So I got a little bit like fucking wild. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Did you do that?
Jungle Boogie?
Did you
no,
do that?
No.
I thought you did that.
No. I'm not going to try it. I mean, I'm not actually trying to be offensive. Or like, I was just like, I was fucking with it, but I was like, oh, I go back to the monkey stuff, but I was kidding. But then like, so then I get off stage. And like everybody's like, damn, dude, like that was fucking brutal. And then like I'm like chilling in my car, and then I can hear the next comic. And it's like, I think it was 2 later. I don't think it was the one right after me, but I think it was like somebody or a couple people after. It was a couple other people, and then she was like the other feature, I think. But then she went up, and then she just ripped on me for like 15. No, which
that's how you get the room back.
Oh,
that's
and
the
she
way to
murdered.
Get the room back,
like no, like she 100% deservedly, and like was murdering, and like so it was good. It was hilarious, but it was just funny because she was like, "You motherfucking calling us monkeys!" Like I can just hear it out there, and then she's murdering, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot." But like whatever, it's just like I didn't meet. You know what I mean? Like I got in a position. Like I'm just like,
no, I feel, but it's like cooking, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's like cooking. Exactly. That's the part where you burned the cake.
Yeah, I mean,
you forgot to turn off the oven. The cake's still in there, and now we have to fucking sit.
And then what you did, you like put it back in the oven. Like what you going like? Should we go back to the monkey bits? Is you putting the cake back in the oven on fire and just setting it to 350 again? I love that. But that's fun sometimes. So when you've already lost them, just be like, well, let's just.
That's
really...
the thing is like when I know I've lost a crowd, I go like I'm like, well, now I want to make you uncomfortable.
Well, now I want to just try things. Now I want to get some, because for me it's like selfish. I'm like, well, I'm practicing, right? Now I can practice my shit.
No,
my dark shit.
It gets like emotional for me.
Oh, like you're like rant time. It's like
it's not rant, but it's not rant, but it's like I want to try as hard as I can to now make you uncomfortable, to walk you to like it's like a fight. Now it's like
you're like you really want to see bad, because like in your head you're like, that's not offensive when they get offended.
Well,
so you're like, you want to see what's
and
really
I'm
offensive?
like, and I think it's a reaction of me not being accepted. Like I'm like, I want to be, I want everybody to love me. I want to be loved, and like, and then if you're not, then I'm like, well, I'm gonna reject you before you're like, oh, okay, you're rejecting me. Well, then I'm gonna fucking like, I'm gonna make you very uncomfortable. Like, yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's not. It's out of this weird place of like, I actually don't want to fucking make you uncomfortable. I want your admiration. I want you to like me. Like, it's a sick, twisted fucking thing
it's like,
we're
please.
doing here. Yeah. And so but that's like where it's like you don't want to get the crowd like that, because that's where you kind of lost shit. You know, like you want to keep it where you're chilling, and that's like it's like where it's like, I don't know. Like yesterday, I actually like felt like I dealt with a heckler really well or whatever, because I had a heckler yesterday where he like was just like some drunk dude, and he just like booed my set at like fucking Lestats. He was just like, boo, like. This shit's
really at Lestats?
Yeah.
That's like the last place where you'd have someone booing you.
I don't think he was like I think he like had just kind of wandered up there. You know what I mean?
He was just being a piece of shit.
You know, he was just some dude, like whatever. But I didn't care. Like that's what I'm saying. Right. Like he wasn't at the mic. You know what I mean? It wasn't like and it wasn't like a patron or whatever. It was probably just a dude who was kind of like, he was just chilling there. I didn't see him
checking it out. Or
like after I got off the stage, like he wasn't there anymore or whatever. So he was just, wandering guy. But he's just like, boo, like this shit's weak, bro. And I'm just like, yeah, like that's why it's an open mic, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're practicing, asshole. Sorry that we have to do it in front of people. If I could get a Netflix special by doing this shit in my room, I would never leave my house, man.
I'm just kidding.
I would never leave my goddamn house, dude. Oh my god. Like I wish there could be like a teleport. Like the second I get off stage, they always say, watch the fucking portal just walk into my living room and off stage, and then vice versa, like to the open mics. Like summon me when my time is ready. When I'm 55 on the list, and I'll pop in.
Yeah, that's the future of open micers, dude. They're just gonna be able to fucking teleport to fucking spots and shit. Like, man, when I was teleporting through that last spot, I got caught in the fucking wavelengths. And
you just brain chip. It's like you're like, hey, what number? I'm signing up. And it's like, okay, you're number 555 because the population would be like 12.
People are gonna start like fucking like people's like Neuralinks are gonna start getting hacked and all their jokes. Like, my Neuralink got hacked and all my jokes got stolen. That's gonna be
the new Rogan Mencia. It's just gonna be like, you fucking
yeah.
Rips it out of his head. He's like, try and steal this.
Yeah. Fucking Rogan just pulls out like Carlos Mencia's eye. There's just so glowing fucking database.
Oh my god!
There's a hyperdrive in the back of it.
Just like all the jokes. Just looks like a duct tape on it, like property of like Joe Rogan Experience on it. But but to go back to what you're saying about like, you're talking about like, you want like everyone, right, to like you when you're on stage or like laugh or whatever. And to go back to food, like, I don't know, I think about it though as like, you could have like a fucking 5-star meal, right? Well, if the person's fucking allergic to the peanut sauce and they die, like, you're like kind of the classic way of saying you're not going to be for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be everyone's,
you're not everybody's
cup of tea.
Yeah,
you might even be like, you might be a nice day's cheeseburger and the whole audience is fucking vegan, dude. Like, and it's
LA. yeah. No, dude, I actually had the worst, dude. I'm gonna tell you. So, I don't even want to name this club by name, or it's not even a club. It's a fucking whatever open mic in LA. But I literally just got in like the biggest fight with the host of the club at with these LA mics because we went in, and then like Dayton like wants to fucking drink beers at the car the whole time. So we like go sign up for this mic or whatever, and like I paid for his sign up. We go sign up at this mic, and then fucking he's like then we go drink beers and like smoke weed at the car and like for hella long. I mean, like, and I feel it, like we were not in this building for many, and then we came back and like and then there was like 2 comics up and we watched them and then we went up and like between, or maybe like there was maybe one other comic and we like stepped outside between, and like Dayton was, because he smoked cigarettes, so he's smoking and I'm just chilling talking to him. But anyways, the host got pissed. Like he was like, hey, like I went back to get my jacket and he was like, hey, like if you fucking come back to this mic, like stay for the whole time, like don't, but he said it in kind of a douchey way. Like he didn't say it like nice, like it was kind of a douchey way. And like I was just like, what? Like I was like, okay. And I got perturbed because I was like, well, I paid. Like I was like, and then he was like, yeah, blah blah blah. But then he's like, and then like my only thing was like, I was like, yo, you should say this at the beginning or whatever.
Right. No,
like
I was gonna say that's a big thing. I noticed the difference in LA mics and San Diego mics is like the LA mics, it's because there's so many other shows and shit to see.
Yeah.
The LA mics, it's really just you and the comics.
Yeah.
The other comics. So like
for sure.
The couple that I've went to, I know what you're talking about, because like the couple you go to, they're like, hey, like do your time, sit in the room, watch people kind of bomb before you or do well, laugh at their jokes, watch people try it out, because otherwise there's no audience. But for him to not say anything is that's right. That's the thing. How you go about it. I understand if it's a different culture up there.
Yeah, and now I'm sort of getting it. Yeah, exactly. Like now I'm sort of feeling like it more because people like I've relayed this story and it's been like people are like, yeah, that's just the culture there. It's like there's no mic. Fucking that's what Aaron was saying too. Is like there's just no people who show up for the fucking mic. So or like the only audience members are going to be comics. It's like I get that. Like, but it's just like that's how it was in Seattle.
Set it as an expectation.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm from Seattle, where it's like the only audience members were comics, but nobody, like, it's not a paid mic in Seattle, and so nobody's asking you, like, you don't have to stay in there to do your time. It was just like. So nobody really stayed in. Like some people would. I mean, you'd go support, but like. It's just like, I don't know, like it wasn't like a fucking like you have to sit in. So but I get it. I totally get it. But it was just like, I don't know. It was the way he came out. But then I'm a fucking psycho. So then I was like, I gave these guys like the hardest time. Like, I do feel a little bad, but whatever. I'll never go there again. It's fine. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think that they probably want me to go there again.
No, I mean,
they didn't say I wasn't welcome, but I don't think I would feel welcome there.
I bet you in like 3 months it'll be a completely different set of people. That's what I found too.
Yeah,
you'll hear older comics talk about, I was fucking blacklisted from here forever there.
It wasn't even it was a tiny little like spot though. It was like just an open. It's not like it's like a bigger. I mean, a bigger club. Or like I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'll hold my tongue, I guess, a bit more on a bigger club is what I mean. Like it's like
totally fair.
I understand that I went a little hard on them, but it's like I also there's a whole bunch of things there. But it was
like you could go off a little bit. Like, you know what? Like I don't need you.
Well,
you're like, I can. You had the license to, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you were in the right or the wrong, you know, there wasn't much to gain or much to lose.
No, I mean, there's definitely a lose. I lost, you know, dignity. Exactly, you know.
Yeah, but what is that really?
I have no dignity. No dignity. Won't get down.
No, the way you hate yourself. No dignity.
We gotta do a fucking remix of No Diggity. I love the way you hate yourself. No diggity. I'm gonna get that. No dignity. No dignity. That's funny.
I got a bag of
it. Dude, we gotta fucking we gotta. All right, well.
Dude, our musical comedy troupe will take off.
Yeah. Weird Al, fucking throw us a line.
Oh my god, that would be fun. We could do some weird, like one of those like Dungeons and Dragons, but like futurism too, like some like weird medieval futurism kind of ensemble.
Hell yeah, that'd be tight. Oh, you were saying the fucking I could definitely relate about the, you know, like fucking having when you were talking about the scripts and stuff and like having just like things that you've written and then you lose interest in, you lose momentum. Yeah. But we should fuck around on some movie shit together because I'm trying to write some scripts too, man. I'm like I've been like I'm just like I've always since I was a little kid I've been doing like you know movie shit. Like me and my brother and our neighbor would just fucking go and make like home movies, you know. And so like I've always loved you know, writing a weird fucking fun movie kind of script, sketch, whatever, like, and making just some podunk like fucking shit. So yeah,
I always like to write down ideas.
I
always like to write down ideas for like a minute, 30-second little like funny clips. I'll think of an idea, and then there's like some ideas you get that are a little more long form. But no, we could definitely collab. That'd be super fun.
No, totally. Because I'm super, and I think that's one of those things where like. I totally feel you where it's like I lose fucking momentum on ideas all the time. But when I have friends,
someone else,
when I have collaboration with people, I'm able to kind of sustain more of a longevity of a creation or a project or an idea.
Absolutely.
Because, just the fire of two people is much warmer than, you know, the fucking glow of one.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, it's true though, because like when you speak something out loud too, right? To be speaking to existence, and then someone will come back. Hey, I've had so many times where I just fucking fly from one thing to another. Where I'll like reconnect with like someone from high school or college or like back home, and I'll haven't seen them like a few months or a year, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey man, like, what's going on with like such and such?" Insert fucking idea that I threw away like probably 2 weeks after I told them about it. You know? I'm like, oh fuck. They're all like excited too. They're like, are you like almost done? Are you like, is it like, can I see it? Can I? And like, you're like, damn, it's like still.
Like you fucking elevator pitched somebody this like incredible idea and they saw the fucking like stars. They were like, holy shit, that's going to be the coolest thing ever. I'm so excited to check in with you in 5 years when like this is a real thing. 5 years later, they tell you and you're like, that's 65 fucking ideas ago, babe. Like, what are we?
It's weird too because it's not like I'm blacked out or anything when I give them these ideas or like, dude, let me say it's like not that. I'm like clairvoyant, like I fucking. But it's weird too because there's the weirdest times is when it's like something that I don't even remember.
Yeah,
dude, remember when you had that idea for that like workplace comedy, but it's in communist Russia, and they're like joke writers for the satire department, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're like,
but who thought of that?
You're like, honestly, I love that idea though.
Like,
can
shit,
you? Yeah, do you have my notes on that?
I was just gonna say, do you remember what I said?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, dude, that's funny, and that's
something called manic depression. We're just describing all to the textbook letter.
yeah. Therapists watch this.
I don't really I don't really go out that much sometimes, and then I have all these ideas. I gotta get them out.
Yeah. I don't think I'm bipolar.
No. I just like have these sudden swings of creativity, and then don't get off my couch for 4 weeks. But I like to think of it as living my life on my own terms, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, dude, I feel it. It's fucking it's so fun to like create the idea, and then like the actual doing of the thing is much more challenging. It is very, very satisfying when you can get something done, but it's like with so many ideas, there's definitely going to be many that just fucking
fall away to the ether. Yeah,
exactly, lost in the fucking the universe, just to float around. But
and it's tough too. That's why I like comedy, because it's so much like because I did a film class in like high school for like 2 years, and that was fun to like actually have like part of my homework. So like I was like forced to. That was my time. It wasn't like goofing off time like that. Actually, I could like make this little with your buddies. But it was interesting about that because like you realize when you're doing that kind of shit, like how easy your vision in your head just gets completely skewed. And that's why I like comedy, because I feel like there's a lot less like filters to go through from your head to like what you want it to do. Like you just want it to be funny and people to laugh. Yeah. As opposed to this like, oh, like that angle, or oh, the lighting there, oh, we just like couldn't make that happen. That just didn't pan out to how I wanted it to. Like ideas, sometimes I'll be like, shit, I wish this never came out of my head. You know what I mean? Because now it's like I feel like I sullied it, you know?
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, dude, View Askew, fucking, which is Kevin Smith's production company.
Good call out.
But no, dude, fucking, I definitely feel that. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, it would be cool to try and like I mean, there's just so much that you could use. I don't want to say potential. Potential is not the right word, but there's so much like just available material,
so it's like substance.
Substance. Thank you. Boom. There's the word right there.
I was like watching it.
I
was like, I think substance. That's it.
I think substance worked there, bud. Thank you. On the alley oop.
Yes, sir.
Sam Leaman with the substance. But no, he brings the substance to the podcast, people. No, but for real, like substance. Yeah, you need that substance. To just be able to fucking latch onto and
and it's everywhere.
That's okay. Thank you. I like when I'm like I've forgotten where I'm going completely, and so I'm just like, well, we'll just go.
You know why though? Because you and I do the same kind of stoner talk, where you and I just kind of like can keep the motors running like at neutral, like you're just trying to remember your thought, but say just enough to keep it going. So I'm like.
Which I appreciate about you because, dude, like, I mean, shout out to Joey Mejia, friend and ex co-host of the pod. But like, sometimes Joey did not get that fucking idea
so
of like the motor keep running. So I'd be like going, and then I'd be like, all right, let me pass the ball to you so I can like roll a fucking slow to bull over here and like crush up some lines or something. And then like I'd like stop and then like. I'd be like, all right, well, then I have to keep fucking going.
It's a skill. It's its own skill when you realize that it's
but
like
shout out Joe's awesome.
Dead air, right? It's dead. You can't have dead air. You realize when it's rolling, you're like, shit.
Exactly,
nothing's coming out.
Exactly, and that's like the thing of like fucking somebody going again. But that's why I like having you, because you can keep it going, and I can be like, okay, pass the ball over here,
like swing over here.
Exactly.
Little kind of go back to what we were talking about there.
Loop
little
around.
diatribe all the way down this rabbit hole, but then come back up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It's the rabbit hole. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's a fun it's a fun thing. What was like your spark that got you into comedy?
I feel like I was such a textbook, just like hyperactive kid.
Yeah.
Always bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Looking for attention. Yeah. And then like I guess maybe clever, not even like just clever enough. Like
did you do plays?
Not even. I was just more of like that kind of like not even the class clown, but I was just like the little just kind of like weird, just like pop about.
Yeah, you're like I want attention.
All the energy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kind of like everyone's friend, but only a couple people's like best friend. Just like he's just
just a vibe,
kind of fun
a
to be
good
around.
vibe. Yeah.
So like that, and then just like the classic, like then you're like clever enough. Sometimes kids know. All kids are selfish, trying to get what they want, right?
Yeah.
So then, of course, the classic, you learn like the social currency, right? Of like being able to be funny or like get people.
I don't even mean as much like of that, but like what were your like your fucking like. Like what were your early like just early kind of fucking influences?
Oh, like comedy memories kind of spark. I got you.
Yeah, or the things that really like for me like Dazed and Confused like really built me, and then and then fucking I was like big in, and then I started like I think I got into stand-ups through sitcoms like through fucking like Parks and Rec, and through fucking like fucking Broad City and like and I loved like Workaholics and all these, like I've always loved comedy shit, but then like actually seeing stand-up, I think it wasn't like I went and saw like Hannibal Buress from Broad City, I went and saw like Nick Offerman from like Parks and Rec, like and I started to just kind of, and like I didn't ever see Aziz, but like I like watched his specials and watched Kevin Hart and just different stuff. Like I started to like kind of be like, okay, like so I was like, what were the breadcrumbs that led you into like or your early influence breadcrumbs?
That's a much better way to put it. I feel like growing up of like really young, like early memories, like parents watching Seinfeld.
Dude,
it's like it's like a Friday night. I'm like a tiny little, you know what I mean? I'm like a little baby boy, and I'm just like in the bed. Bro. I'm like in the bed with them. It's like I gotta pee
super quick. Keep going.
Run it. Keep going. But it's a late. I'll set the scene. I'll set the tone and scene while you're back. We've all been there. It's a late weekend night. Weekday night, and the parents came home from work. You got home from school. It was a crazy day. Preschool colors, shapes. It's tough. You're looking to relax. You get home. Nice meal, everyone kind of goes their own ways, but then the TV comes on, everyone's kind of all gathered around, and then Jerry Seinfeld just starts asking about fucking airline food, peanuts, and I think that's kind of where it all gets started. You're just kind of like a little kid, and you see your parents laughing at shit. I'm gonna repeat this all for Wes when he comes back, so excuse me, but when you see like adults or like the one people, oh, here it comes. I was getting the shit where I'm like, I'm gonna repeat this because I gotta tell you. But I was setting the scene of like,
There's bad podcast etiquette, my bad.
I was doing like the classic, like setting the scene of like that, like just a little like suburban kid, like you're just like.
I thought we were starting the Seinfeld,
set the scene. Boom, Tom's Diner intro. But you could do that though, because it still works.
What's
it's like
the deal with airplane
that's exactly
food?
what I said. You can watch the tape because I was just saying, like,
run it back.
I was gonna say everyone has that long day at work, right? I'm a preschooler, dude. Shapes and puzzles and colors that day were hard. Everyone kind of gets in like the bed together, or they're on the couch, right? And Seinfeld comes on. And all of a sudden, you're too young to understand most of the jokes, right? And again, all you see is, what's the deal with this? And then your parents are dying laughing. You're like, what's going on? And they're your parents, so you're like, I want to like, that's a great reaction. Your brain's processing.
Yeah, you're like, they think this is
something's
cool.
going on
something
here. You're like a
funny
little kid.
Here.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not fully grasping it, but these people I love are doing the thing that I love the most. They're happy.
Yes, exactly. So like that, of course, just kind of starts rolling into it. Like that kind of rolls into it, of course. And then you're just kind of sitting there. And like you said, you're watching more TV shows. Like I love like Liar Liar, all the Jim Carrey movies, like the Robin Williams movies.
Yeah, Liar Liar.
And you're
great.
fucking.
I have that right here.
Ooh, the collection.
Oh no! I don't have Liar Liar. See, it's the other one. Me and myself and I read.
Ooh, honestly, I feel like
I don't have Liar Liar.
I'm surprised at how many people haven't heard about that one.
This one,
because to me, it's not even underrated. It's just
I hadn't
it's fantastic.
seen that one. I hadn't seen that one until I got it when I moved here, and I watched it here. It's fucking awesome.
It's one of the few really weird out there movies that somehow just like makes even like holds your attention the whole way. Because I feel like a lot of movies like that just get you so sidetracked and get so weird that they can't bring it back.
100%.
That movie somehow keeps you a linear storyline somehow.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But keep going.
So yeah, you see all those guys, right? And like you're aware of like and of course the classic when you're little, like when you're like making your parents laugh or putting those plays on for the family or like doing stupid shit on the playground or in the classroom. You don't realize what you're doing is like some form of like stand up kind of, right? Or improv.
Yeah.
And then you watch all these great movies that are hilarious and you're quoting all like The Fucking Longest Yard and you're quoting all the dirty shit that or like the potty references when you're fucking 7 and 8.
Yeah, you got all the funny lines.
And then I'm like, I'm like 7 and 8. I'm 9 and 10, and it's like fucking Obama era to date myself. And then it's like my parents are watching like The Daily Show at night, right? So then and then I'm watching SNL and I'm watching like the kind of political shit.
Well, okay,
and then I'm getting into like
sick.
and then I'm kind of getting into that. And then it's like this kind of big pendulum swing where you realize all these people that like you see at their like you're seeing them at the movie stars or as like The Daily Show.
Yeah.
You're like. You start. It's like this, like fucking national.
You're
putting it all. You start tracing back all their roots.
Yeah, you're like a fucking detective, and you've just got like the fucking the board of just red fucking lines, just red.
It's like National Treasure. Just like
your NCIS, just fucking trying to fucking put all the pieces together.
And this one is just like open mic. It's like started as an open mic comedy, like improv comedy person. It's like always like you're like, and it just keeps coming back to the same.
Just keep putting the network of.
And then you start watching. Then you start watching fucking Bill Burr and Maniscalco and Louis C.K. My dad had like a Bill Cosby like on like one of those like iPod like shuffles.
Yeah,
and that was like one of like a few albums that he had on there of like music, and that was one of the only like talking albums. So I would listen to like his fucking like live at like Temple University.
That's so cool, dude. Like, you had a good fucking. You had like good like some good comedy roots.
Yeah,
like
definitely like strong, but like didn't realize it until like middle school or high school that was kind of like what everything that I was interested in like super like fucked with like was all around. I was interested in acting. Never really pursued it. I was in a like one show with Brad Garrett. If you know Everyone Loves Raymond, to name drop.
Everyone loves
shameless
Raymond.
Name drop.
No,
it's it was like a sitcom.
Yeah,
you just look up his brother. Like Everyone Loves Raymond, and then like Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
Because I did this weird little
This guy.
It was like a reality show.
Oh wow.
Not reality show, but basically
I think I've seen this dude's face before.
Yeah, I think he does like comedy clubs now in like Vegas or something.
Oh, he's a voice actor.
Yeah,
too.
he did Gusteau from Ratatouille.
Oh, and Finding Nemo.
Oh, was he Bruce? Oh, no way.
That's sick.
I didn't know that.
That's sick.
I was like 11 and he did like a show called I Kid with Brad Garrett that never aired. But there's like a trailer you can find like on YouTube somewhere of me fucking as like an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And the episode that I was supposed to do, we were at an Italian restaurant. It was like literally like hidden like earpiece shit.
What the fuck?
Like,
how old were you?
I was 11, and it was like me, my little sister, and like a couple other kids of like various ages.
This is on TV?
It's on like TLC.
What
it was
the
like a Ryan
fuck?
Seacrest thing. Like,
so you had like trailers and shit?
No.
But
It's like so like it was. I did like a cattle call kind of thing where there's like hundreds of kids. They put you in a room, and then they're just like
cattle.
I was going straight on. They're like fuck them all, but you know.
Oh no! Poor casting. I mean, casting couch
at the Nickelodeon Studios. No, it was.
Can you say foot job?
No, it was TLC. So yeah, they'd do stuff like that where it's like be angry, or whatever. So you go through a couple things, and then they just would take different sets of kids for each episode. Because it was called I Kid with Brad Garrett.
Whoa.
And he would just do different things. So the thing that I did with him was went to a like Italian restaurant in West Hollywood. They put us
he picked you like a Build-A-Bear?
Like not him. I mean, it's up to casting
directors. But the casting director picked you like a Build-A-Bear out of like 6 kids?
Like this one. Yeah. And they're like, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're just at a little like...
Yeah, it's like fucking trials. It's like Nuremberg. You're just like waiting for you. They're just like, yes, that one. The little blonde one right with us right away.
Oh my God.
So anyways, we did that, and it was like you go in there, and they're like, okay, so it's a dating show. It's like we're gonna do a prank on these people.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be this. So there's an actor who's gonna have an earpiece in. The classic.
Yeah.
It's like kids saying shit like in the ear of the actor.
Yeah.
And then the other girl or guy who's not knowing that's a date, they justify the cameras by being like, oh, it's like a reality show on dating.
Yeah.
Then we were like 11 and 7 and 5, just saying childish shit into these actors' ears for them to say. To an unwitting like date, thinking that they were on like some show about like dating in LA.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I did that like once, and I was like, this was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just to get paid, like the class that you're fucking, you're waiting for months. My mom just did it for fun. She got an email. She's like, let's just go do it. Blah blah blah. And we didn't even think about it until like literally 4 or 5 months later. You got an email. I was like, fucking, I forgot I did that. And then you go to another audition, and it was
just so much work that you were just like,
I was like, this is you see all the cameras and the shit, and like how many kids are doing it, and then you see, of course, like the fucking stage parents. The kids are like actually trying to like, and they're like having hissy, like all the stereotypes. Hissy fits on the floor. Like the mom's like, Michael, here, juice box, and you go in front of juice box. It's like,
you're like overwhelmed by that.
I'm like, holy shit,
this is not
the Disney Channel, bro. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, once you see behind the curtain,
there's all these crew guys smoking cigarettes, like with the lighting and shit. You're like, this is, so I wouldn't say like it like scarred me or like turned me away, but I wasn't. I'm like maybe in acting would be fun.
That's good. You got like a good you got like a good perspective of it early on.
Yeah.
So you weren't like, fucking just chasing this like fucking bedazzled carrot or whatever.
Micro dose of it too. It was like it wasn't even recurring. Nothing. It was like literally you go there for a day, like a whole day, and then you go for another whole day to get like filler shots, and that was it. And I was like, Jesus, you're just like, they're just running you around. Go here, go there, go there, go here. And then I'm like, stand up, dude, that's chill. I'm lazy.
Yeah, no.
Lazy. I just sit around all day at home watching TV, smoking weed, and thinking about stupid shit. Like maybe I can make something out of this. But yeah, and it goes back to that same idea of like that, like I said, like the less filters from like your idea, like from concept to like product, so to speak. Like comedy, to me, again, it's just like that. Again, it's just from your fucking mind right out, more or less, without too many interpretations, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. I feel that stand-up is definitely, like, I think that, like, even, like, Shane kind of said that same thing, because he was talking about how, like, filming Tires and stuff, like, he's filming the second season of Tires, Shane Gillis, and he was just like, stand-up is so much more fun than comedy. I mean, than acting.
The days are super fucking long from what I've heard.
Just like stand-up is so much better.
You can make, if you're making good money, and I guess it's a job, right? You're chilling, but you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. They're adjusting the lights. Oh, we need to get this lens, or we need to do this or that, and you're just sitting there fucking.
No, that's so that's the cool thing. That's why I think stand-ups are like superheroes when it comes to like this, or like they're like they have a superpower, because it's like an actor, if you can just act and then you're like a killer actor, that's awesome, but then you're stuck living that world. But if you're a stand-up, you make your own world, and then if you can put your foot into the world of acting and do a little acting, and that's fun, dude. That's cool, but it's not your whole thing. You have a gig, and like then if it goes good or if it goes bad, you have more to write about. Like then, like if it goes horribly bad, well, now you have a new 15 to write about how horribly bad it went. You know what I mean? So it's it's like that is a beautiful thing of just being able to continue turning over, to continue creating.
Right. I feel like that's the thing too that got me, because once I realized like 99.9% of actors, right, they're not writing their own shit, right? Yeah. That's for me was like a young little arrogant kid. It's like I want to write, you know what I mean? I don't want to say what's like the classic. I don't want to say what someone else says. Like, yeah, there's fun roles, there's cool things, but chances are, you see the reality, you're like, shit. Chances are, I'm gonna be some weird like Hallmark like dude, like, you know what I mean? Like in some role, you're gonna not get the roles that you want or think, of course, as they always say, like in the beginning, and then it's just like you're doing shit that's like. It's not you, right? You're making money. It becomes way more of a job than like an art or like a way to like a creative outlet,
Yeah, no, totally. And then that really puts a fucking toll on it, that like makes, creativity takes a huge toll when it is your only source of income.
That's the thing that I always find that's to me like the gnarliest part about like all of this is like, if by some chance you're able to even get to the point where like maybe you can like make enough money to sustain yourself, then what you love, your passion, what's fun, what's just like a cool thing becomes like the way to put food in your mouth and like a roof over your head. And that's of course where separates the men from the boys, as they say,
No, for sure. I mean, and that's like why you just got to get really fucking good. But then also I think you just create a lot of things too. I think like I think that's why it's good to do stand up, do a podcast, do fucking do like a short, like YouTube short kind of shows, do fucking a movie, do like whatever creative thing that you're vibing, you know, like I mean like music too, like I play music, so it's like whatever, but like whatever it is, I think like the more that you can just, because now the world is so fucking big and there's so many fucking people into so many different things that I feel like the more that you can just kind of push your shit, and I'm not saying like quantity over quality, but just like whatever you're into, don't stifle that, you know, because I think that like you can find different avenues of people that are into your shit in different places, and if you're just looking in one place, you might not be able to congregate all of that. But if you like flex the different abilities that you have, then you can, you know, fucking find those different, like whatever opportunities that's going to lead to.
And that's honestly, that's been really top of mind for me recently, because it's like, when we go all the way back to talking about like most mics we do, right? There's 3-4 people, there's 5. It's like a shitty bar, like
suicide room.
Yeah, suicide room, right? So it's like the classic. I realize that like sometimes it's like what makes you not want to like go out or do it is because then it's like, oh, this is my like one creative outlet, right? This is like, that's supposed to be the one thing, as if I were playing the guitar or the piano, or drawing or painting or doing a podcast, right? And then you start remembering, you're like, oh, I have all these other different creative outlets. So when this one isn't necessarily like doing like it's more work than fulfilling at some point, which is it's gonna happen. It's super nice to be able to, even just for your own mental state, not even like marketing yourself,
for
just to be able to
100%.
Like I say, I love fucking just like drawing and doing like weird colorscapes and shit, and they make, if I had like a shitty night and I only get up for 3 minutes, right? Is that realistically, is that going to be enough to like creatively make you feel like probably not, even if you crush, even if you crush, sometimes worse if you crush.
It's a tease, right? It's just a little fucking.
You're like, they were fucking with me. Like I could have.
It's a little ball tickle. You're like, dude, I was murdering maybe for 3 minutes.
Now they would have bombed the rest, but let me try.
In your head, you're like, I could have killed for an hour.
In reality, you would have done 2 more jokes. They would have gotten sick of you.
You would have lost.
But in that moment, you're like, let me try at least. Well, at least they're giving me like the laughs to keep going, right? But so that's what I've been realizing more. It's like, you know what, like, and then I'll bring out the keyboard more. I'll like play the piano. I'll jump on the pot. You know what I mean? Like you'll do other shit. So that isn't like I think that just is with anything. Like you can't make one thing your only thing. It's like it's a high risk, high reward, because then that's like your everything. So you work really hard. You're driven, but then if something doesn't, that's your only reason too.
Exactly,
you know?
And you have no other outlet, another way to like get like your creativity out in a different way, or to be able to just like when it's really frustrating and you're in a fucking obstacle, you're in a place you can't get through as a blockage in it, then you can do something else, and it can help you to just be like, hey, I don't have to be fully stuck in this. Like it is challenging.
The blockage is the best way to put it, because it's the classic like one door closes, another window opens. You know? Then you start like, if you're fucking don't have the time to perform or something or whatever, then you start writing a ton. If you feel like you're dry writing, then hit your 5 minutes hard, or your 10, or whatever you're working on, and then find new stuff in that. Rewrite old shit if you can't write new shit. For sure,
dude. Yes.
You can circumnavigate the blockage.
Just organizing, just working, just looking, going through your material. Like it definitely helps to just fucking like, I really find that like the days that I actually like take time, look through everything, write, fucking just spend time doing that, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel growth. Versus like I feel stagnant if I just fucking.
It's 1% better every day, or 0.1%. Anything is an increase, right? So then you add those up over time. So it's like, if you can't get out to as many mics as you want that night, or any mics, like just do something to make you feel like you're keeping the wheels at least in motion.
A little bit of progress. I feel that. Just because it's baby steps, and it's like because the thing is too, it's a fucking. It's a marathon. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's like,
and it's like I've been doing it only for like, in March it'll be like 3 years.
Yeah, so exactly. That's a long time. There's a long time, like, but yes, it's a long time in terms of your life. Right. In very small perspective. In perspective of your life, but in perspective of comedy, that's
like freshman year.
Starting.
That's like literally freshman year still. You're like,
they're like, oh, okay, you actually want to do this.
That's my joke. Was like, because the classic like the 10 year thing is like what they used to do, as far as like, or 20 years used to be the real like mark of respect, and now everyone hates that it's now down to 10. So if you you take that logic, right, and then do the analogy of like high school or whatever, like 4 years like college, high school, whatever, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for comedy, in my opinion, like freshman, year 1 through 4, sophomore like 4 through 8, and then junior, and then like
100%.
From there, I think each like stage, in my opinion, like not to like quantify something finite, but like it feels like 4 years is like those kind of increments of like not where you should be, but just like when you start feeling that, you know.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, because it's like you, no matter like with anything that you're mastering, you're going to have to take those 10,000 steps, and it's like that those 10,000 steps, you can either, you know what I mean, people take them in different lengths of time or whatever, but like it's going to take you at least that 4 years to just, or like whatever, like 3 years to even, like I think 3 years, like, because I'm knocking on the door of 2 years at the end of like the year here or whatever, and I think 3 is like where you're like, all right, am I gonna like you know what I mean? Am I going to keep doing this?
Like, am I going to ramp it up? Or
am I going to keep doing it? I think it's like, that's like where you're like, I'm serious about it. Like, I think that's like the entry point.
Exactly.
That's like give 3 years of your life to this.
Literally.
And if you then still would you'd like to be a comic, okay, you can start now.
And I've used like this, exactly. And I've used like the stupid excuse of like being young enough where I've even like fucked around enough and like not taking it seriously these last like sometimes partial.
Me too,
even with
for
that
sure.
Too, you're like, that ages, that like, you know, that extends
your back.
It pushes you back.
Oh, totally.
Like,
I'm like, no, because I feel you, bro.
And you feel it. You know, we all do it at some point or another. But it's a good point, because it's like that piss or get off the pot at some point. Or it's not super. It doesn't have to be black and white, because sometimes you see people who go, well, this won't be my everything, but I'll still want to do it and go out enough. So there's like,
and that's fine too. No, and that's fine too. But it does suck, because you're like, man, like, it sucks when somebody does that and they're fucking a killer, and you're like, you're super good, fucking like, but they get a bit.
Or people quit for like years and then come back.
Yeah,
that's what blows my mind. I have so much, honestly, respect for people who like literally haven't done it for 3, 4, 5 years for whatever reason. And they come back to like the open mic scene. Do you know what I mean? Like,
God, oh my God.
Again, like, I'm not saying like I don't have it, but like that's that's like true love. That's true love. So much respect to anyone who's gone more than
true
like
love, or not even true love. It's like toxic love, to where you're like,
that's such a good point.
It's like where you're like going back to a relationship. It's like going back to a relationship that you're returning to. That you're like,
that's a good point.
I know this is bad, but I have nothing else. I mean, it's literally like,
and you were good to me every once in a while. You just think of like a couple good times.
Like how I am with my ex. Like, it's like my ex. If my ex, we do not talk. Like, but if she at any point was like, yeah, you can come back, I would just be like,
you're like, sure.
I would be like, my life. I would go shut down my entire life here, and I would move across the country. Like, I mean, and that's like with like, it's like the toxic. Like, Tommy's like, oh, you'll take me back? I guess like the thing is, you can always go back. Anyways, man, fuck, we gotta wrap it up, because it's getting it's getting late.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark out there.
It's extenuated the time.
I know, it's been wild. But no, dude, it's been a fucking good pod having you on, dude. Man,
a pleasure and a privilege.
Yeah, you want to plug your stuff? Tell the people where they can find you.
You can just find me on the streets of San Diego,
begging for change and punchlines.
Yeah, you can find. Yeah, you can
more tags.
I'm gonna say, I feel like I wasn't that funny during this, but that's fine. It's a podcast.
It was very funny.
You know how it goes. You can just find me trying not to half-ass the open mic scene in San Diego, just around, out and about, you know.
Hell yeah.
But nothing else, man. I really appreciate it.
You tell them where to follow you.
I'll be posting stuff soon. TBD. I'm debating whether I want to make a separate like a comedy Instagram, or like just do the new one, but. Either way, S. Leaman, just follow. It's more social than comedy at this point.
Hell yeah, man. All right, well, it was good having you on the pod. Thank you so much. We'll have to have you again. Super fun time. And, we'll check you guys next week.
Thank you.
West Side Stories Podcast. Love you guys. Peace. Woo.